up, everybody? Oh yeah, Johnny's in the house today. We'll give everybody a few minutes to get logged in. We'll get kicking off today. Okay, we got a little bit less than a minute left. We're going to kick it off. I can wake my throat up. Okay, I think it's time. You guys ready? I want to hear Jonathan, so let's get a countdown. Here we go. Y'all ready for one? Dun, 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 countdown coming on. Here's a countdown. Hey, 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 hey. School's out here again today. Kind of crazy and hard to believe, but it is true. And there he is. Toboggan and all. Mr. Jonathan Shorts in the house.
Hello. Hello.
How's everybody doing today? How you doing?
I'm good.
So your mama's coming home from the hospital today, huh?
She is coming home after lunch, most likely.
She had surgery on Monday, if you don't know that. Good to see you guys. Today's number 864-864 of these. We remind you of those numbers so you can just feel our pain.
Hey, man, we're getting up there.
I'm getting up there.
The show's getting old.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, not.
Be careful. What are you throwing picks at me or something?
Yeah.
What's everybody doing today? Good to see you on the Vital Axiom. We are glad you are here, and we're here hanging out. We're talking this week about the past. Actually, we're not. We're talking about the future, hindered by clinging to the past. And we've been reading some writings of Paul as he talks about how to get through that. Praying for you guys. So that means we can sing now, Tar Heel.
Yep. There we go.
We can rip it up. We can rip it up and get her done. Let's play with that. Can we do it?
It makes for an interesting song.
I feel the worship in that, don't you?
Your wife said hello.
My wife did. Oh, a bunch of people said, let me just get back to, hey, baby girl. Hey, Miss Shay. What's up, Dodie? And hey, Trish. She's from Vegas. Beautiful there. It's warming up here. It's going to be back up into the 30s. Kathy's here. And Deborah's here. Travis is in the house. And Alan got in. Amanda, Aaron, Stuart and Ginger Cassandra's here and Mary's here. We got a bunch of peeps on today. Hey, Pauline. And we're glad you guys are here. We're going to sing a song we've been doing for a bit.
This is one of my top 5 songs to sing.
Is it really?
This song gets me.
Does
This song
it?
gets me every time.
You going to
man.
make it through?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's do it then. You want to?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to set some stuff up. Here we go.
Thirsty, I'm thirsty for you. In a dry land with no dream, I need you. I know you made a home inside this heart of stone, so turn it into flesh, spirit soften it, I give you all I have, I'm holding nothing back, Jesus I am yours, Jesus I am yours, take over. Dry land with no dream, I need you. No, you made a home inside this heart of stone, so turn it into flesh, spirit soften it, give you all I have, holding nothing back, Jesus I am yours, Jesus I am yours, take over, lover of my soul, surrender. There's nothing I want more. Know you, Lord, to know you. How about a little bit of that? Surrender all, and I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Savior. I surrender all. One more time, let's sing. I surrender all for somebody today. I surrender all. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Savior. I surrender all. Surrender all.
That's what it's about, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Well, that's what it should be about, right? Surrender,
Yeah.
take over. Somehow the church has lost all that, right?
Yeah. We want to be in control. And,
You can make it.
yeah, good. I'm just in the
We have a church over here. Johnny's having church in the studio. How you guys doing today? Thank you for all your sweet comments. Best time of the day? Well, thanks, Carolyn. That's very sweet. Geneva and Tanya, and good to have you guys on the show. It's really a lesson to be learned that Christianity is basically surrender to God. And if you don't really get that part, where do you go from there?
Yeah.
I mean, I know I pick all the time on the same things, but it's not God surrendering to us. Hey, God, come here.
Yeah.
Do what I need. Go here and get that and do this. That's not what Christianity is. Not even what life is. I mean, God made us. You know, we're all having these heated discussions about infanticide, killing babies after they're born. You know, we're barbaric. We are proven again and again and again throughout history how murderous and barbaric we are. I mean, there's so many ways to get around anybody ever having to have an abortion. So many millions of ways to get around that. Education, teaching your daughters to be chaste, all that kind of stuff. But that stuff's all gone. We just don't want any boundaries, any rules. We don't want to be accountable. And all that's because we've rejected God, who leads us to all those kind of things. So anyway, how you doing today? We're talking a little bit about the past. Let me just kind of catch everybody up. There's a lot of people I see that haven't been here all week. And we've been talking about Paul's letter to the Philippians. And in there, he says some things. Let me run back in the notes here, and I'll read to you what he says. This one thing I do, and then he gives three things. This one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind, reaching forth unto the things which are before, I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of God in Christ Jesus. I said, well, that's three things. It's forgetting, reaching, and pressing. And we said, well, really what Paul's saying is all one thing. You cannot move forward unless you let go of the past. And then we went on to say that Paul wasn't just talking about your bad past, because we had that conversation before the show, not like all the terrible things. He is talking about that. It's not excluding that either. But hey Gerald, what he's talking about is all of your past. Actually, he goes on and lists, I'm not going to read it today, this huge level of accomplishments. He called it his pedigree in one translation of the Bible. You know my pedigree, and said all of it is dung when it comes to moving forward and knowing Christ. So then we started that conversation. What in your past is holding you back? And we said, well, is it the bad things? You know, you sinned, you failed, your relationships, all that. Is it the good things? Your education, your family, your reputation, blah, 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 whatever it is. You're on some board, you're part of some private club or something, and if you get all Jesus-y, you're done. So what is it that's really holding you back from stepping and reaching forward to those things that lie before, for pressing to the mark of the high call of God? What are you worried about? What do you love more than you love finding out what the will of God is for your life? And then I want to read one more thing, then I want to let Jonathan share a little bit today. Then we read in Isaiah, this right here, said this. The first is Isaiah 43:18, if you want to go there at some point and check it out. Here's what it says. Remember you not, or ye not, the former things. Former, that's past, if it's former. Neither even consider the things of old. Now, I said a lot of people are holding on to old revivals. You know, back when I was a boy, or back down there in Florida, or up there in Canada. And we're just waiting for it to happen again. Well, it's not going to happen again. That was a first for those things, and whatever God's going to do is going to be new. Remember not the former things, or to consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing, he says. So, but what has to happen before you can experience the new things? You got to let go of the old thing. You got to quit remembering. And I mean, it's okay to remember and reminisce and thank God and be thankful, and it's your testimony, but you can't live there. Behold, I will do a new thing, it shall spring forth. Now, it says, you shall not know it, or shall you not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. He's talking to the children of Israel about what he'll do. So, Jonathan, talk to us a little bit about your experience. What is it like to try to move on from the past, good or bad, and embrace the future? And I know your personal testimony enough to know you got some past stuff in your life that came against you, let's say. How in the world did you ever get back to pursuing the call of God in your life?
It's crazy. It goes back to the song we're singing, just asking the Lord to take over, in surrendering and letting things go, and just wanting the healing more than you want the hurt, and wanting to move forward more than you want to stay in the past. I mean, God has healed so many things in my heart and in relationships, and He's done all these things and helped me to move forward. And thank God I don't have to live in that and relive situations in the past. And God has brought me so far in just a short time, really. I mean, really, it's a really short time that God has just brought me out of so many things.
And what would you say to people? Okay, so we got somebody on here, let's say, who has hurt in their past, rejection, disappointment. Maybe they just think they have a great doctor's degree, and that defines their future. What would you say were just beginning steps to releasing or letting go of the past and reaching for the future?
I think you've got to decide that even if decisions were made for you, the decision for you moving forward is on you. And
so you say if stuff was done to you, there's nothing you could do about it. It was made for you.
Right.
Okay.
So you've got to make the decision that that's not going to define you, and that's all on you. And
so you can't keep blaming the people who hurt you.
You can't.
Why not?
Because you will just continue to relive that moment over and over and over again, and understand that God, of course, doesn't want you there. So why do you? You're making the decision. If He says that He has a plan for you in the future, why in the world would He cause you to keep living in something over and over and over again?
I told him yesterday, no, God's never called anybody to the past.
No.
Come back to the past. He's never done that. It's always called us to the future. So how do we do this? Here's a question for people who are watching today. How do we make them believers? How do we, not believers in Jesus, but believers in the reality that if you don't release your past, it destroys your future? How do we make them believers in the reality that the Word says that you can't focus on things of old if you're going to see the new thing in your life? Yeah. I mean, we've given the Word. What would you say are things that kind of awakened you or made you go, okay, hold on, I can't live in this down in this ditch. I've got to get out.
Well, you've got to understand there's so much of your future is dependent on you moving forward. For me, for myself, it was, first of all, my little boy. I got to make the decision. Am I going to be a real man? Am I going to be a man of God, that somebody that he could look up to? Or am I going to create scars and hurts for him in his future? Or am I going to move on? For me, it was my youth group and kids in my youth group. Am I going to be a real man? Or am I just going to be another victim of stuff in my life? Or am I going to try to be an inspiration for somebody to say, my youth pastor did it, I can get through whatever it is that's coming against me? And that extends to the rest of our life moving forward. My wife and my girls now and our church. And there's so many people that we've got to understand that we can be inspiration for people. We can be a witness in a testimony. Or are we just going to be another tragedy? And that's all up to us and the amount that we want to surrender. And yes, there are things that come into my mind every single day, and I could live in hurt. I could.
Sure.
I could live
Sure.
in mistakes that I've made. I could just dwell on that over and over and say, God, I am such a jerk or such a failure. I could live in that. I could. But where is that? What is that doing for the people around me? What about that is pointing people to Jesus? Nothing.
And I think that's one area we really didn't investigate this week is not only when you focus on the past, do you ruin your own future, but you also affect the lives of other people.
And we think we're not that important to the people around us. We have no idea how important we are to the people around us.
That's good, man.
And it maybe in the eyes of the Lord, or in the vastness of eternity, we're just ants. We're micro, but to the people around us, we are so important. We are so important, and not to the point that puts us on a pedestal, but we got to understand there are eyes that are on us and other people's eternity that are absolutely hanging in the balance.
Well, I can't tell you how many times I've told people, you just need to talk with Jonathan. He's going through what you've been through. And then I had this kind of picture while you were talking of you down in that mud hole and people standing around watching. What's he going to do? What's he going to do? And you turned around and walked out by the grace of God. And they said, well, look what he did. I can do it. The Bible talks about us being surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses.
Yeah.
And sometimes we just got to say, okay, enough is enough. Mm-hmm. No matter what's been done to me, and people have some terrible stuff done to them. No matter what's been done to me, that is not me. I'm moving on. I'm going to be who God, and this is going to be a testimony. I'm going to point to people and say, you know what? I was there. I went through it. This is what God did and got me out of it. But it was because I decided my past was not the place I wanted to live. Trish says, I needed this message today. Well, that's awesome. Thank God. Something said to bless somebody, and we're out of time. I looked up and time's out.
Wow.
Jonathan, I always love when you come on, man.
It's fun today, man.
And it's good to have everybody here. Just, guys, let go of your past. Good or bad. Don't get caught up in how wonderful you are, but get caught up in how wonderful he is and the plan he has for your life. Go read that in Isaiah and forget about the things of old. Start looking to the new day, the new thing God's doing. I'm ready for a new thing. Are you?
That's right. Me too.
Okay, kids, that's the end of the day for us here on the Vital Axiom. As Heather comes in late to see her boy.
I still love you, baby.
Still love you, baby. All right, well, we out of here. Number 864 is Deep Six. At this point, it's over. We're going to bury it. See you guys. Love you. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. Have a great day. 11:30 a.m. on the Vital Axiom tomorrow morning.